Good morning, everybody. I hope you all are ready. Do we have a quorum? Good morning, everybody. I hope we are all ready to. Can I request everybody to please settle down?
Please take your seats.
Thank you. Well, today is June 2nd, and Tuesday. It's also voting day. I hope you all cast your votes today and elect the right people. So I call this meeting to order, and this is our closed. This is our board meeting, a monthly board meeting. Do we have quorum?
We have people on Zoom too.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
Okay. I see Carmen and Martin, and I think I was told that Bunny is also on Zoom.
She's on Zoom. She's just joined.
Okay, wonderful. So, we need to do a Pledge of Allegiance. Director Cornell, are you ready? You did it last month too, didn't you? If you're ready, let's do it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. I see Martin's hand up. All right. I'd like to acknowledge the media. Is anybody in the room from the media world? If they're not in the room, they're probably lurking in the cloud somewhere. Yeah. All right. I ask for approval of the agenda. And Martin, you wanted to say something?
Hello, Coach. Can you hear me?
Just about. Can you speak a little louder or increase his volume, please?
I can. Hello.
Yes, we
you
can
me
hear
now?
you slightly better now.
Yeah, we made a motion to accept the agenda. I want to amend the agenda, please.
Go ahead. What do you want to do?
I would like to move committee assignments to unfinished business.
Okay. So let's do approve the amended agenda. Do I have a vote for that?
I have a motion.
And still up.
Okay. So Mickey gives me the first. Can I get a second? Thank you. So with that, we should be able to move the agenda assignments to the unfinished business. Thank you, Martin. If there is anything else? Okay. We can carry on now. Let's do the approval of the minutes. We have 3 minutes to approve, A, B, and C, from May 5th, May 13th, and May 21st. If there is no objection, then the minutes are approved. Report of the chair. Okay. I don't think I have much to say, but this month I received a lot of phone calls and comments about the coyote situation, and we are working on that. I also received an email from one of our past board members regarding the cost of the building E, and we have requested that information, and we should be receiving it shortly, not today, but soon. And lastly, I don't have much to say. The only thing I wanted to mention this morning was that please, if you haven't voted, go and vote. The last thing is, I have the city manager here who is going to talk to us soon, Mr. Chris Macon, and along with him, we have Captain Ryan from the Sheriff's Department, and we welcome you, and we look forward to working with you. And soon, after the next few things, you will be talking to us also. Thank you. So I think that is the next item. Chris, you are on.
It's nice to have a little bit of a crowd here today.
Yes.
We have just a couple of slides for you, but I wanted to use our quarterly opportunity to talk with you today to, in part, introduce our new Chief of Police Services, Captain Ryan Anderson, with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Next slide. Thank you. So, as you're likely aware, throughout California, cities and counties are the historical provider of frontline law enforcement services. That includes criminal law enforcement, enforcement of the California Penal Code, California Vehicle Code, and various other state laws. Law enforcement services differentiated from private security services by a couple of things, including the services being performed by peace officers, which is a classification of employee under state law, and those individuals having the ability to arrest and detain individuals, search and seizure, various other things. Now, in California, cities provide these services, but there's specific state law that allows most cities to contract with counties to provide law enforcement services. So in Laguna Woods, next slide, Michaela. Since 1999, shortly after the city's incorporation, the city began contracting with the County of Orange for law enforcement services. What that means in practice is that the city enters into an agreement with the County of Orange, and then we receive law enforcement services from the Orange County Sheriff's Department under the direction of a locally appointed Chief of Police Services, which right now is Captain Anderson. This service is the single largest service that the city provides. So at the beginning of our current fiscal year, which started back in July of last year, law enforcement costs represented about 43% of the city's general fund budget. Now, we have other budgets, but that's a pretty typical allocation for law enforcement services, agencies that provide public safety services. Public safety is the largest chunk of that budget, and we're no different here. The City Council recently approved a new one-year contract. So every year there's a new one-year contract entered into with the county. That contract beginning July 1st is just over $3.6 million. That provides a number of things that Captain Anderson's going to talk about. But in addition to providing direct purchase positions, in other words, deputies that are located in this city, the Sheriff's Department has a whole raft of services that we have access to by way of this contract without individually paying for each of those services, ranging from helicopters to mounted services to kind of surge enforcement abilities for protests, rallies, larger events. Captain Anderson's going to chat about that. And right now, actually, I want to turn it over to Captain Anderson to introduce himself, and then he's going to talk a little bit about what we saw for calls for service last calendar year as well. So, Ryan.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ryan Anderson. I'm the new Chief of Police as of March of this year. So first of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'm looking forward to continue to serve the community here of Laguna Woods. So I've been with the department about 20 years. I've worked a variety of assignments, and the reason I'm telling you that is we'll touch on some of those assignments and what they can do to benefit our community here. But I'm really looking forward to using all the tools and all the resources at the Sheriff's Department disposal to be able to benefit our community here. So first and foremost, we responded almost 7,000 calls last year, 50% of them which were self-initiated, which means our patrol officers are getting out of their cars, engaging members of the community, or looking for suspicious activity, or just doing patrol checks of critical infrastructure, such as houses of worship and other places like that. So that's good that we're seeing a balance of about 50% of calls coming in and about 50% of our deputies going out there and making contact on their own. So that's a good thing. 81% of our calls all fall in these 4 boxes here. So we're going to go through these a little bit. 42% are checks. So this could be anything from a welfare check to a 911 hang-up or a suspicious activity check. So that's a majority of the calls that we get. So we're making sure we respond to those, and we vet those. We make sure that there is no criminal activity, or if there is, we take appropriate action. Traffic-related, you can see there 1,100 calls, just over that amount. So this can range from traffic enforcement, right? California Vehicle Code section violations. It could be traffic collisions. We do have some of those investigations we have to do. It could be hit and runs, things like that. So we have a limited amount of traffic enforcement that we do in the public areas. Actually, it's a little bit different than what we can do within the private streets, but we do have a good amount of enforcement here, and that keeps the traffic collisions down overall. Suspicious activity, just as I said, it could be somebody who could be possibly under the influence walking around. It could be something that's just suspicious. Maybe somebody's asleep in the car, or somebody's getting on somebody's property and it's just a little suspicious. So that's another big category of calls for us. And then crimes, right? So we have crimes against persons, crimes against property. So crimes against persons could be an assault. It could be, some type of robbery. It could be, any type of domestic violence incident like that. When it comes to crimes against property, we're looking at more like burglaries and thefts of vehicles, things like that. So those are the major categories that we do have. And what's highlighted up there is the see something, say something. So that's a campaign that we really, really push, because the community, our residents, these are our force multipliers. We don't have the resources to be everywhere all the time, but we really rely on the individuals to report things. So what we're looking for, next slide please, is we have a few numbers here. Obviously, if it's an emergency, call 911. If it's not, and it's just something suspicious or something that doesn't feel right or doesn't look right, or you're hearing information that could potentially be a crime, call the non-emergency number. But again, don't hesitate if it is an emergency to call 911. The third number there is listed is for our Aliso Viejo station. You can call that number also, but we really encourage the community to reach out to us. So the last thing I wanted to touch on that was brought up are the resources that we can bring along. As part of the Orange County Sheriff's Department, we have about 4,000 people within our department. About half of them are sworn, about half of them are non-sworn, support staff, right? But what goes into the contract for the Laguna Woods policing contract isn't simply just deputy sheriffs and investigations and things like that. We have direct enforcement teams, we have drones, we have a real-time crime center, we have hundreds of investigators that specialize in very, very different disciplines. We are the mutual aid, responsible county entity for the entire county of Orange. So when we do have events and things like that, or something that could have a criminal nexus, we can surge and we can scale. So that's something I wanted to highlight, that we have the ability, if we do see a problem, we do have a lot of resources, whether it's traffic, whether it's burglaries or anything like that. We do have the ability to bring in additional resources to make sure we mitigate and stop that type of activity. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I can take any questions, and I'll pass it back to Chris.
That's what we wanted to share with you today. We're happy to take any questions on law enforcement services or really anything else that you would like to talk about.
Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you, Captain Anderson. We definitely like this, you coming forward to meet with us, and someday we will have a sit-down meeting, and I'd be happy to take you around the community if you'd like to do that. Sure, you're welcome. Any of us? You don't?
Pardon?
You have any questions?
No, I have none.
Okay.
Thank you.
John?
Yeah, I'd like to reiterate what Kush said and welcome you to the community and thank you for your service. Question I have is, how many officers do you have?
So for our contract, we have 6, and we have a sergeant assigned to the different shifts.
So that's 7?
So we have 6, 7, yes, overall.
Okay. Thank you. I don't think we need as many, but we'll take whatever we get. Yes, Chris, you have something?
Martin has a question.
Oh, Martin, sorry. I thought,
I snuck in.
okay.
Hey, thank you, Captain Anderson, for your services, and thank you, Chris, for what you do for the city of Laguna Woods. Greatly appreciate it. I know that we're all concerned about safety relative to the coyotes and our coyote situation, and so we are very open to hear what the city and the county more so has to say for us and help us in regards to that situation to make it safer for our residents. The other thing is I'm glad that the chief walked in. Right now, we're in the process of designing a new. We're relocating our security department, and what we want to do is design in an optimal radio control center that that will enhance information that you need from us, that be able to make it more interoperable. We don't need, I guess we've got control of a couple of your frequencies and likewise, but we just want to make sure that all the bells and whistles that are available are optimized in there and with regards to when we move them. And so we're kind of also looking for money. That I know that there are, that there's big projects, there's funding out there that helps communities with respect to, creating an interoperable system that can be beneficial to our residents in safety and security. So think about those things along the way. We can talk more about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Chris?
I think you have another one.
Yes, John.
Is there a placard or piece of paper that we can put these numbers on in each of the mail rooms or something so that it is available to the individual residents?
We can
They
have
work with your staff
work on that.
to talk about that.
Okay. Thank you.
We can have staff work on that. This is something which Michaela and Paul have access to.
All right. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for
Thank you for your
stopping
time.
by and appreciate it. Good to meet you, Captain. All right, let's keep moving on. Next is the CEO's report.
I believe we have the El Toro Water District.
Oh, shoot, I missed that, sorry. Who's going to provide that report?
That's me.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, I'm Hannah Ford. I'm with El Toro Water District, and we're here today to talk to you about a regional project. So it's not just El Toro that has a vested interest in this. It's probably on the agenda as SACWA. That's the South Orange County Wastewater Authority. There are a lot of acronyms in this presentation. I want to walk through it with you and explain the need for an urgent critical infrastructure project that will impact the Laguna Woods Golf Course. Today, I'm joined by Sherry Seitz. She's our public affairs manager, and then also Brian Botello. He's with Irvine Ranch Water District, because what you'll learn is that it's not just El Toro that have vested interest in this, it's SACWA and also Irvine Ranch, which are our neighbors to the north. We have 3 objectives today. So first, I want to explain the need for this project. Then I want to explain what we've done to look at different alternatives and work through with BMS staff to date some of our potential alignments for ultimately where a new pipeline will be routed. And then from here, we want to develop a preferred alignment and enter into a new easement agreement with GRF. So to start, I want to define the acronym that's the most important for this presentation. That's the ETM. Okay, so the ETM is the effluent transmission main. It conveys 15 million gallons a day of wastewater from our wastewater facility as well as to our North Irvine Ranch Water District's Los Alisos wastewater facility. And it takes it from us to inland water reclamation plants down to the Aliso Creek Ocean outfall. So this pipeline spans miles, And you can see that we have broken it into several reaches. Reach A is the first reach that's solely owned by Irvine Ranch Water District. Reach B is the focus of this project, and that's the part that we own 100% of, but it's actively managed by SACWA. That's a joint powers authority that both El Toro and several other neighboring water districts pay into because they manage the outfalls. They manage the effluent transmission main because, as you see in later reaches, other districts contribute to the effluent transmission main. And they also manage several different water reclamation plants themselves. So they're a larger regional entity that technically own and maintain this infrastructure. But because we own 100% of Reach B, we're the ones that are driving this project, and it's within our service area too, so we want to make sure that we're your point of contact when you have questions. But Irvine Ranch contracts with us for 50% of the capacity in that effluent transmission main. So the reach that we're talking about, Reach B, is 4,500 linear feet. The part that this presentation focuses on is just the part that crosses through the golf course. So if you can go to the next slide. This is an aerial view of where Reach B currently routes from our water reclamation plant. So that's nestled close to the Laguna Woods Golf Course. It's right off of Moulton Parkway. And in light blue, you can see where the effluent transmission main crosses through the golf course right now. This was originally constructed in the late 70s. It's nearly 50 years old. And when it was constructed of a material called techite. So in the next slide, I want to explain to you why the age and the quality of material that we currently have is not good. Techite is a reinforced plastic mortar, like it's a fiberglass resin pipeline that is extremely brittle and prone to failure. It was put in the 60s and 80s, and in the mid-80s, it was actually banned from construction because it had widespread failures. There were many lawsuits. And so the lifespan of this material is generally 5 to 10 years. We're at 50. We have had breaks. That's what these photos show. This is a break within our fence line at the water reclamation plant. To my knowledge, there's been also 3 breaks within the golf course. It's not good when we have breaks. This is treated wastewater, but it's still wastewater. And you want to be able to play. You want to not have to worry about sewer spills. So we don't want this situation to happen in your golf course. We need to construct a new pipeline. So how are we going to construct that new pipeline? There's a lot of information on this slide. I'm not intending to give you a technical talk about all the different construction methods, but it's been asked, why are we just doing open cut trenching? So that's the simplest, most proven construction method when you want to build a new pipe. Essentially what it means is you cut open the ground and hopefully in alignment that's parallel to your existing. And yes, it will require some surface disturbance, and that will span a significant length because if you recall, Reach B is 4,500 linear feet. 3,500 of that is through the golf course. So what we're proposing to do is open cut trenching. It's the simplest, it's got the lowest risk, and the reason that we chose it is not just because it's low cost, but because it's low risk, which means low schedule. So we did look at other alternatives, and the reason we're not suggesting we go with those alternatives is because, yeah, they sound great. Like, okay, what if we just rehab the existing pipe, right? There are technologies now, it's 2026, you can reline an existing pipe, get great structural integrity out of it, but in order to do that, you need to bypass the existing pipe. So then you've got a surface structure too for the entire alignment. And you also have to install pits at least every 1,000 feet, but also at every single bend and at every single fitting. So you're still also gonna have surface disturbance. And for what benefit? Because now if we do this parallel pipeline, it's lower risk. We're not gonna have to worry about once we get into it if there are unknowns, which is one of the biggest drivers to go towards a known construction method like open cut trenching. Other alternatives that are also feasible but very expensive are horizontal directional drilling or micro tunneling, things like that, where basically you're installing the pipeline subsurface. But again, in order to do that, you have to install these pits or these shafts to either pull or push the new pipeline through. And all of that is highly dependent on the geological conditions. You can run into unknowns, you can hit things, it's high risk, and that can delay schedule. So in thinking this through, we were trying to have the lowest impact to the golf course possible, and we do believe that open cut trenching meets that. When we were doing pipeline material selection, we also selected PVC because that allows us to get it in there, install it as quickly as possible. We're looking at about 200 feet a day is what we can do with PVC pipe, so that gets us in and out of there quick. Next slide. So when we look at open cut trenching, these are some graphics that show kind of what the footprint of construction will look like. So the trench itself would only be about 3 to 4 feet in width. The depth varies just based on what we have to avoid in terms of other conflicting utilities, but you can think between 3 to 7 feet in depth in general. You're going to have an excavator, that's that's the equipment that's doing the digging. Then you're also going to have a flatbed truck to deliver the sticks of pipe. You're going to need some laydown area. You're going to need a dump truck to remove the excavation that you're not going to use for recompaction. So generally speaking, you're looking at about 25 feet of width along the new pipeline alignment. That'd be the width of area that we're disturbing. And then the length will vary. So we think that you can install about 200 feet a day. So you would install the new pipe, cover it back up, and move on so that you don't have this open cut alignment exposed for the entirety of construction. I have some photos in the next slide that can help sort of illustrate better what I'm talking about. First, before I get there, it was asked, could you avoid the golf course entirely? That's a fair question, okay? And look, you could, but it would double the cost of the project because the link that you would have to add to go through our WRP and down to Moulton doubles the length. Okay, what if we just impact one of the holes and then go through the residential neighborhoods? Doubles the length. And that's not just a cost thing, though the cost is significant. We're already looking for our preferred alignment at a $7 million project. So you double it, you're talking at least 6-7 million more. But it's also, when you increase the length of a pipe, you increase the friction, you increase the pressure that the pumps have to overcome to meet that. And so then you could not just be talking about a pipeline replacement project, you might be talking about a pump station replacement project in order to overcome that additional friction loss. So while it is a fair question, it's not feasible given our cost considerations, and there still would be impacts either to the residential neighborhoods or within the street. We just can't avoid that. So what will it look like in the golf course? I've got some photos on this next slide, and I like the ones on the left, especially the left bottom. That's actually some active construction that happened at Pebble Beach. And I think Pebble Beach is still a great golf course to play at. That's what I hear. So we can do construction in a golf course and restore it to its original conditions. What it looks like is there's a long length where you've got a hole in the ground, yes, but you can recover it. What I like on the right, where it shows they're doing some street work, you can see how they have part of a trench open and the other they've already recompacted and they're restoring to its original condition. So this is generally an idea of what open cut trenching and what a new pipeline installation is going to look like. Next slide. We've been working with BMS staff and we've had several meetings, several site walks. We've got some initial feedback. Through our current conversations, what we've learned is that it is of utmost priority to avoid the greens. Those are really hard to restore. We don't want to touch them. We are going to avoid those. In addition, we want to minimize impact to play. In order to enable that, we also have to allow through golf cart traffic. The lower priority items are trees, fairways, utilities. These things we want to avoid to the greatest extent possible, but we are going to have to put the pipeline somewhere. So as long as we can replant the trees, restore the fairway, reroute the utilities, that's okay. That's what we're hearing. So this is a busy slide. Let me walk you through it, but this is the first cut of our alternatives evaluation for how we can route the pipeline through the Laguna Woods golf course. This is an aerial view. You see our water recycling plant up on the right-hand side. That's where we would do all the laydown for construction. So the contractor would generally be storing their equipment within our site, not on the golf course. And then in the different colored text, you see the 3 different courses, right? So there's 3 9-hole courses at the Laguna Woods Golf Course. The pink is course 1. That we can generally avoid altogether. The yellow is course 3, and then the blue is course 2. If we choose the right alignment, we can manage this so that we only impact one course. That felt pretty good. So that could be something that we work towards so that we're not impacting your ability to at least play a full 18 holes at any given time. We talked through the pros and cons of these different alignments, and in red is where the existing effluent transmission main is. It sounded like the initial feedback we got from staff, and I'm happy to hear from you today, but it sounded like the green alignment is what the preferred alignment was. There was some potentially double benefits of routing it through hole 7 because, yes?
Are there 3 pipes?
No, so the red is the existing, and then all those
There's
different
3
ones
courses.
are alternative alignments.
Alternative alignment.
Yeah, so you could
Choose
choose
one of the
one.
3.
Choose what? Choose your own adventure. The green one sounded like the best adventure, but we're open to input. We will put it anywhere. We're trying to just minimize, we're not touching green.
I have a different
Yes.
question for you.
Okay,
Is this much longer?
one more slide.
Huh?
One more slide.
One more slide. Sorry, because we have a pretty long agenda.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy to stop talking, but
No,
I
no,
would
you
like
can
to share-
continue, but we want to make sure we are conscious of the time. So please finish it.
For sure.
Thank you, thank you.
The next slide will show the construction. So we anticipate the impact to the golf course would be approximately 2 months, and let me walk you through what those 2 months would look like. We are under a time constraint because we've been talking about this project with the city of Laguna Woods. They want to do some paving restoration in Moulton Parkway, so we have to get the whole thing done by October of next year. Okay? So we're moving fast. We also understand that the golf course closes for 1 week twice a year, so we want to capitalize on that existing closure. So we're proposing that we start the work and we only impact that course 2 during the work. And if we start in April, we're aligned with an existing closure, and we can get all of the new pipeline installation work done essentially in the month of April of next year. 1 week, the golf course is already closed, okay? So it's just 3 weeks basically that we're impacting that course. But then there's an additional 2 weeks we need to restore the site. So make sure we're replanting all of the vegetation, if there's any impact to the golf cart paths, reinstall any concrete. And then we'd be out of there by the end of May. And then once we also do the part that's in the street, that's phase 2, and the part within our plant, we have to, at the end, we can't leave this 27-inch pipe abandoned. We have to fill it. We don't want it to become a sinkhole. So what we're going to do is fill it with structural fill so that it doesn't become an issue. We have to abandon it properly. So that's why we show coming back at the end of August, early September, is to do proper abandonment of the existing effluent transmission main. With that, I'll take any questions.
So I'll ask the first question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So the product that you will use to substitute the one that you're taking out is what? Is called?
PVC.
PVC.
Yes.
And how big is this
It will be 24 inches, the new pipeline,
in diameter?
in diameter. So like,
That's pretty
This
big. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Cool. Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned the $6 to $7 million project. And is budget already set, or is a new budget will coming? And is there any impact on our water bill?
It's already contemplated in the capital budget that we've already set. So we're not driving a rate increase, a new fee based on this, but it is part of the reason why our water rates go up is because we have to fund aging infrastructure projects like this.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Who else? Yes.
I understand that you'll only be impacting one golf course, but will there be any revenue that will be provided to the community for that loss of use?
It's something we can talk about. So when it comes to providing revenue, we're a nonprofit. So in order to pay for something like that, that would basically mean raising rates in order to offset that revenue source. So it's a little bit of a balancing act. There's no free money here. We can certainly have that conversation further if that's a need that you need to require in order to provide us a new easement.
So how about doing work on weekends and evenings to accelerate the project so the loss of use is less?
Yeah, that's something we can also talk about. It also increases the project cost. So the $7 million I mentioned assumes normal working hours, but if we want to require an odd hour kind of situation, it's a conversation we can have. It will increase cost.
Understood, but you're impacting our revenue, which is significant.
Right, and I don't want to take away from that. I also just want to say this is not an optional project. We don't want to do it either, but we don't want, your sewage needs a place to go.
Understood, but there are creative ways to accelerate the project. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, anybody else have a question? Yes, Martin.
She has the question.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you for your presentation. The other communities that are contributing to Reach B,
Yeah.
are they going to continue to contribute, or are there going to be an impact that they're going to have in order to be able to maybe speed this up or defer the costs? What's their involvement?
Irvine Ranch will pay for 50% of this work. We have 50/50 capacity in the effluent transmission main, so we have 50/50 cost share.
We're nonprofit too.
Yeah.
And so we are, loss of
Understand.
revenue is concerned.
This is not
I don't know if Allison or Tom are in the room, but I mean, we have we're doing some closures for sand trap renovation and that. We don't want to do a sand trap and then you come through with a trench and tear it apart.
Agreed. We want to
Yeah.
avoid any of that.
Yeah.
And we have been working with Allison and Tom.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And because it looked from what I'm seeing that you can, it looks like hole six of course 2 is the one that you're affecting the most. I'm not quite sure, but I'm hoping that, the impact can be coordinated with our closures that we're doing with our sand trap project.
Yeah.
Things like that.
That's
Thank
a
you.
good point. They did ask for that green alignment because they wanted to improve the earthwork that was in that longest hole that the pipeline will impact. They saw some side benefits to improving, like getting new grass in that area they thought was already something they wanted, and we would essentially be able to give it.
What
through this
is,
project.
of course, repairing the ground, I mean, it's a golf course. You just can't, just walk away from it. It's got to be done and done right. And I hope that they would have, that you're going to put it back the way it was, or better.
Of course. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, I'm more of a proponent of directional boring. And I don't know if that is less expensive, more
It's way
expensive?
more expensive.
Way more, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
You're
Okay,
looking
good
at double,
questions we
triple.
have. We are running out of time. Yes, John?
What, how is this being funded? You said 50% was Irvine Ranch.
And 50% through El Toro.
Okay, so basically it's being funded through you and El Toro, and
Irvine Ranch, yes.
Irvine Ranch. So those are the two basic funding sources?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, so what about the noise?
So we have to comply with, general regulation about construction noise, which there is limits. I don't know them quite off the top of my head, but we know there's some residents, and so we aren't allowed to go over certain thresholds. This isn't an extremely loud project. You're not going to have a ton of bypass pumping. Horizontal directional drilling would be louder. This
So
is
somebody
just regular
will be
excavators, dump
making
trucks.
sure that our residents will not get affected that badly.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you for your
Thank
good
you.
presentation.
Good, good.
Um,
Does
I'm a-
staff have copies of this? We can get a copy of this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yvonne still had a question.
No, I think she did.
No, that's all right.
Did you? Thank you.
Happy to come back anytime. We would like to, if you want us to talk to any additional town halls, we're happy to answer questions. We are under some time pressure to meet the City of Laguna Woods requirements. So
Thank you.
we're trying to get this done so we can hire a contractor early next
We
year.
know where to find you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Okay, next is the CEO's report. Sorry.
Thank you, Honorable President, members of the board, and our audience. I'd like to begin by introducing some new offerings for our community. The first is for residents embarking on remodeling projects. Our Manor Alterations Division is introducing short, easy-to-follow videos that answer frequently asked questions, such as where to begin, what may be required for your project, and so forth. The available videos to date include Welcome to Manor Alterations and Manor Alterations Resale Inspection Process. These are available on the village website under Services and Manor Alterations. Along those same lines, Manor Alterations will be co-hosting with the city a Manor Renovations Town Hall meeting. This will take place on Friday, June 19th at 9 a.m. in Clubhouse 5. They'll be providing updates about permit processing, flooring, accessibility, and much more. Our communications team is going out to the community also to help educate residents about what information resources are available to them. These are called our communication pop-ups. Staff brings a laptop to demonstrate the website, show attendees who can register for different communication options. We have copies of the Village Breeze, the communications one-pager, Ting information, enrollment forms for Everbridge, what's up in the village, and so on. We also have all the current flyers for frequently called numbers, CR&R, trash and recycling, transportation, and so on. Residents may visit the communications team at the following events. The next one is on Thursday, June 4th, just in a couple days, at the Clubhouse 1 patio concert. So please come meet the communications team if you have questions or want to learn how to stay informed. Next, I want to draw your attention to an upcoming workshop sponsored by Social Services. It is entitled Coping with the Emotions of Caregiving, and this will take place on Wednesday, June 24th at 2 o'clock at Clubhouse 7. The presentation will offer practical ways to cope with managing the difficult emotions associated with caregiving and attendance. There is no registration required for attendance. Lastly, I would like to conclude by highlighting the recent Employee Excellence Award winners. These awards are presented in spring and fall to employees who have completed projects with outstanding records, demonstrate excellent customer service, and regularly go above and beyond their job duties. For brevity, I'm just going to show their names on screen. From Financial Services, Ainsley Sangalong and Kayla Abali. From General Services, Michael Everett, who's a transportation coordinator. From Human Resources, Amy Buff, Human Resources Generalist. From our Landscaping Services Department, Roberto Sanchez, Nursery Supervisor. David Gomez, Irrigation Foreman. Raul Torres, Irrigation Foreman. And Gustavo Soto, Senior Sprayer. From Resident Services, Julio Cesar Gonzalez Padilla, Workflow Scheduler. Brandon Kwan, a Customer Service Representative. Recreation recognized Judy Dilling, a golf course attendant, and Deb Stewart, a part-time recreation leader. From Maintenance and Construction, Christiane Osborne was recognized. She's an operations specialist. Security Services recognized Carmen Aguilar and Elisa Magnuson, administrative coordinators. Lastly but not least, our Community Services team just across the hall recognized their entire team because they've made great strides in improving processing times for all their different types of applications. So if you see any of these employees, please join me in recognizing their outstanding performance. And that concludes my update this morning. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you very much. And let's keep moving on. And this is the time for the open forum. This is 3 minutes per person. And how many people do we have? I'm being signaled it's going to be 2 minutes per person.
Yeah, it'll be about two. We have several speakers today, so it'll have to be 2 minutes
Okay.
per speaker.
We all prepared for 3? Yes, we did.
Apologies, but we have a very lengthy agenda today, and there are over 10 people who'd like to speak during open forum, so we need to minimize each speaker's time down to 2 minutes. Thank you for your understanding.
Record is saying that is absolutely unfair. I agree.
First speaker is Chris Collins.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Chris Collins, 3306Q, and I'm here with an update on the work of the foundation that we do on behalf of residents. And so here I want to tell you about our newest project. Good neighbors, they make life better every single day. A wave, a chat, picking up groceries, a shared meal, a block party. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's organized, but it always matters. In a world where connection can often mean a quick click or a comment, real face-to-face moments matter more than ever. So that's why the foundation of Laguna Woods Village is bringing back our Good Neighbor project, and this is for the 3rd year. So this is just in time for September, which is the month called Good Neighbor Month. So we're inviting village clubs to dream a little and do a lot. So what it might look like is get to know your neighbor gathering, cul-de-sac concert, simple lunch or dinner, potluck, community sing-along, conversation bench, or a walking buddy group. The goal is simple. Reach out to residents who may feel less connected and bring them in. Neighbors can be any village residents, not just those who live near you. And yes, we're here to help. Thanks to a special request, the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village will award $500 grants to each village club that's selected to bring these ideas to life. It's a small investment, a big return, and a village and stronger village in friendship, connection, and community. And the proposals are due by June 26th, and the activities must take place between September and December of 2026. So if you have any questions, you can call the foundation or look online, Foundation of Laguna Woods, at gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for keeping.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. So next speaker is Beverly Carlson. And while they're coming up, I do want to remind, this won't apply towards your time, but I do want to remind everyone that those who submitted speaker request cards, you must be a manor owner and not an occupant or tenant. So I just wanted to remind everyone of that. And we'll start with Beverly Carlson.
Hi, my name's Beverly, and I want to speak to the excessive spending the GRF board is doing while our reserves are far below the recommended level. I've been a resident of Laguna Woods since 2009. I bought my home, and I was thrilled. I loved swimming in the pools and the facilities and amenities. I paid $547 a month for my HOA fees. At present, my HOA has almost doubled. And yes, there have been some improvements and additions to our amenities and several expenses, such as utilities that increase each year. Yet these alone do not account for the near doubling of my HOA fees. My concern is that if we do not restore our funds, our reserves now, we will fall short in case of a big emergency or disaster. Then surely the HOA will increase or special assessments will likely follow. This would definitely cause me and many of my neighbors to lose our homes in the community we love. Many of our friends and neighbors in Laguna Woods are on fixed incomes like myself, and we will be priced out of our homes. I think the governing boards are out of touch with the community residents. We truly believe it's wasteful and does not serve the best interests of our community to continue spending multi-millions of our dollars in light of our vulnerabilities due to the insufficient reserves. Boards, you have the responsibility to spend residents' money wisely. We are a retirement community, not a luxury community.
Next speaker is Juanita Skillman, and then following will be Ira Lewis.
Good morning. Here with your library report. Volunteers at the library in May worked 669 hours supporting 1,920 residents. Now, we also enrolled 41 new residents into our catalog access system. 2,212 items were circulated through our front desk. Now, the main thing I'd like to talk about today is those items that are not circulated through the front desk. It's what we call the honor system. puzzles, paperbacks, games, and children's books, which, by the way, opened yesterday. Our beautiful new children's section. Come by and see it. We're very proud of it. But it is the honor system that means you take it out. We don't count it until you bring it back. Everything that is brought back, and it should be brought back to the library, is then counted so that we can keep track of what's going on. Now, we're finding more and more people think, oh, well, I didn't check it out, so I'll just leave it in the laundry room. Or take it to the drop-in lounge. We have to go monthly to the drop-in lounge and retrieve all of the puzzles that people have dropped off there rather than bringing them back to the library where they belong. So I just want people to remember honor system means you are saying, if I take this out, I will bring it back to the library. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita.
Next speaker is Ira Lewis, and then following is Gail Lewis.
Good morning, members of the board. I want to address a critical and urgent issue. Why are we still exposing our owners, residents, and their pets to synthetic toxic chemicals used by our vendors? Across Orange County, cities and HOA communities have already recognized the health risks associated with these products and have taken decisive action. Organic herbicide and pesticide programs are now fully implemented or well underway in nearly every surrounding jurisdiction. Laguna Woods Village is becoming an outlier, and not in a way that serves our residents or protects our community. Because of the federal herbicide-pesticide drift law, Laguna Woods Village will bear the full legal and financial responsibility for any illness or damages caused by chemical drift originating from our property. Other cities have already faced this reality, and Aliso Viejo residents brought forward evidence of chemical drift a few years ago. The city was held liable for the resulting health impacts. Only after significant public outcry did they transition to an organic program. This shift is not new, untested, or experimental. It has become the regional standard. Irvine completed its organic transition in 2016, San Juan Capistrano 2017, Costa Mesa 2019. Laguna Hills, Laguna Beach, Aliso Viejo, Tustin, and Huntington Beach have all begun or completed the change. HOA communities such as Laguna Altura, Quail Hill, Talega, and Moulton Ranch have already adopted organic herbicide and pesticide programs. We are surrounded by communities that have chosen to protect their residents' health and reduce the legal exposure. If we remain the lone holdout, every claim tied to our continual use of synthetic chemicals becomes solely ours to bear. The potential liability is not theoretical. Similar cases elsewhere have resulted in multi-million-dollar, even multi-billion-dollar judgments. And the solution is not complicated. We need not to reinvent the wheel. Organic product lists, application protocols, and vendor standards used by our neighbor cities are publicly available, and we can adopt them immediately. I urge the board to act now. Choose the path that protects our residents, safeguards our community's financial future, and aligns Laguna Woods Village with the health-conscious, forward-thinking standards of the region. The alternative is to remain the only party left to sue and the only responsible for the consequences.
Thank you. We'll make sure we look into it.
Thank you. Next speaker is Gail Lewis, and then following is Robert Helfand.
At the last GRF meeting, I listened as many residents, including members of the Good Governance Club, asked this board not to spend $335,000 of residents' money to design a new building for VMS. Not a single resident spoke in favor of this project. Then I heard two board members explain why they voted for it. One board member claimed the project is needed for safety. I live on Bahia Blanca. If I need security urgently, it'll take them far longer to reach me from Building E than from this current centralized location. This is not safety, it's the opposite. Another board member said he has a fiduciary responsibility to the trust to design Building E. If fiduciary duty is truly the priority, then the responsible choice would be to invest in something that benefits the people who actually pay the dues, the residents. A new clubhouse for residents would fulfill that fiduciary duty far more than designing office space for VMS. We are a senior community. Many residents live here on fixed incomes. If Building E must be redesigned, then redesign it so the people funding it can actually enjoy it. I'm simply asking that the board make choices that puts residents first. This is all any of us want. Thank you.
Next speaker is Robert Helfand, and then following is Doug Gibson.
Thank you. I'm here to address a different issue that you've had over and over again, and that's the coyote problems. I had been active in this. I was the person that contacted the assemblywoman, who then called the meeting, and an action plan was formed by the city, which actually improved the situation. In the last few weeks, it's not been improved. It's been the opposite. The denning season is over. We're inundated with coyotes in my neighborhood during the day. Every day I see them. The last 4 days, we've had 4 dogs killed. It's time that something be done. This association has not had any fine exactly for feeding coyotes. It's $200 to run a stop sign. It should be at least $200 to stop the feeding. My neighbor across the street feeds coyotes and was reported. And security said, unless you have a picture, even though there's an eyewitness, they won't do anything. And the city did the same. And I've talked to the city manager. And I've reviewed the plans with him as to what they are. The one thing that we haven't done, which you don't want to do, is to allow the trapping that was suggested by Fish and Wildlife. And I request that you make the fine and do the trapping. Thank you.
Next speaker is Doug Gibson, and then following is Michael Landry.
Good morning. Martin, you made some comment about a change of the disaster task force and everything else, so certainly I'm glad to hear that you're working on something like that. What is the community doing to celebrate July 4th this year, with it being such a deal? I haven't heard anything recently. Are there going to be the golf carts? Are there something pizzazz? I mean, this is something that's a major event, and I think that we should be doing something on that. The other quick question is, in the agenda, there's reference to charging for Clubhouse 5's exercise area. And I couldn't get any detail on what that's about, if it's where the machines are at. And I'm one of several 25 people that regularly go in there and utilize that. So to be charging for that doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm just kind of curious where that lies. And with that, I thank you very much for all your involvement.
Next speaker is Michael Landry, and then following is Marie Collins.
Michael Landry, 693B. Mine sounds a little petty after these lofty talks. I have an RV up in Lot A. I think the number is 438B, if I'm not mistaken. There's a large Class A parked in front of where I park that has been abandoned for at least 2 years now. It was full of furniture at some point, and one of the members of the RV club did call and ask about it. It got emptied. So the thing is now sitting empty. It doesn't lock. It looks like hell. And every time I go to my camper, I have to close the door because somebody has either been in there. I just fear that some transient may get in there and set fire to the damn thing, and I'm right next to it. So if he goes, I go. Thank you.
Next speaker is Marie Collins, and then following is Julian Godvin.
Yes, I would like to bring to your attention that Chuck Hollins, I call it his because he's really the father of it, ERP, is going to be a really great resource for you. And in in the vein of not spending money above the 2026 budget unless it is absolutely an emergency, which some of the things last couple of meetings were not. They had been asked for when the budget was fixed. But anyway, you got a budget, okay? If it's above that, you need to give it really, really deep consideration. For instance, if any department currently asks for software, they should be first directed to go through Chuck to see if, when the ERP is implemented, it's not going to take care of that. I mean, it is, in my opinion, going to take care of it. He's got that organized such that anything computer-wise or AI-wise that can help us save money is going to happen in each of the departments. So don't spend any money for any software unless he says, oh no, ERP will not cover it. It will, okay? So pay attention to that. And that's all I want to say. It just don't spend money that's not in the budget unless it truly is an emergency. And if they think it's an emergency, then it has to do with computers, please run it by Chuck first. Thank you.
We have more.
One more speaker, Julianne Godvin.
Good morning. I was here last month suggesting a group to form of people who have been affected by the coyote attack. My heart was shattered when my dog was taken. And in the process, I have contacted social services, which is logical, to see if they could help form a community of people who have been affected who can comfort each other. Social services is not at all interested. They make out a schedule ahead of time, and they said they couldn't do anything, and if they could, it couldn't possibly be before next winter. Now, the Davis-Sterling Act says that management serves only to execute the board directives. I had 2 long conversations with people from the social services, and not once did they mention the board, as though the board didn't exist. But yet the board should be consulted, and that they acted as though the board wasn't here, that they were acting on their own. So we will get no help from the VMS to form a group of people where there is a need in the community, and we are suffering, and we could comfort each other. And I'm completely baffled by why the management company has made the decision that we are not going to form a group to benefit these people. I mean, there you have it. The tail's wagging the dog.
Next speaker is John Beckett, and then following is Bill Walsh. And just a reminder, if you are a manor owner, you're able to come up and speak. If you're an occupant or tenant, you are not able to speak today. Thank you.
I've been asked to read this speech by Shelley, who's collected 400 signatures on a petition.
We don't need clapping. This is not some kind of a contest. So just keep it under control. We encourage people to come and talk. But it's not only about you, John, but in general, I've been listening today for the first time that people are just gone out of control clapping. So please keep it under control. Yeah.
I'm going to just summarize this.
Sure.
The lady who passed out this petition has found that she got some comments from her fellow residents, and she says, the board is not in touch with the thinking, concerns, or priorities of most owners. The board has not developed and does not practice two-way communication between themselves and the owners. Owners are often ignored or minimized in meetings, and their questions remain unanswered. The board's thinking and decision-making is unduly influenced by VMS staff. In the absence of understanding owners' ideas, the board listens mostly to VMS, which results in an unbalanced view of issues.
VMS has no fiduciary responsibility to owners. This permits staff to lobby their self-interest goals, which often ignore the owner's best interests. And within this suspiciously close alliance, the board simply cannot fairly execute their responsibilities to owners of effective management and oversight, strict checks and balances, and the highest standards of critical thinking. In too many ways, the boards operate in isolation, and this slippery slope ends in board decisions made in secret, opposing opinions isolated, harassed, and squashed, VMS denying or delaying owners. The board should understand these 400 owner signatures were obtained in casual encounters within several weeks, and there were remarkably few who declined to sign. The board will take it. What will it take for the board to listen to us? These 400 plus owners want to know your responses now to our positions and our concerns. We implore the board to stop spending until our reserves are restored, reverse the recently approved supplemental appropriations, create and cultivate many new ways of informing and engaging owners with our governing boards. We believe these to be your responsibilities. Thank you to the board and the community members who volunteer for this community. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Final speaker is Bill Walsh.
That's ominous. Final speaker. I didn't intend to come and speak about anything, but some of the comments. I regularly go out to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and look at the Consumer Price Index. And I've lived in this community 19 years, and my wife and I bought a manor in 2009, and our assessments in Third Mutual, our assessments were $553. And last week, I just wanted to go out and see what I could find out what that $553 was worth in today's dollars. And as of September 2025, it would take $827 in today's dollars to have the buying power of that $553. So inflation is eating us up. And the boards, my hats go off to you. Anybody that really has a complaint in this community should get on a board. In addition, when the president shut down the government in October last year, you can't get good numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics anymore, which is a real problem. But I just wanted to say thank you. I've been on boards. I've seen people do a lot of things with energy conservation in this community to lower the costs. And we are headed for some increases in water, and we're headed, I just looked this morning, Project 2045, Edison's Project 2045. They are spending between now and 2045 $6 billion a year to upgrade the grid. So I know a lot of us are on fixed incomes, or a lot of people, and we're going to have to face reality. Thanks.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. That is all for open forum. And just a reminder, open forum is for items that are not on the agenda today. So if you're speaking on a specific item, that'll be discussed when that item is in discussion. We'll call your name at that point. Thank you.
So does anybody want to respond to the open forum speakers? I would like to say thank you to Chris Collins, who comes every month and gives us an update on what what the foundation does, and appreciate that. And also to Juanita Skillman, who comes and gives us an update on the library goings on. And please follow what she had to say, that bring all the items back to the library and not leave it around for somebody else to bring it back. Sorry, Siobhan, you wanted to say something?
Mr. Gibson asked about the plans for the July 4th celebration. I just wanted to share those very briefly.
Of course.
The golf cart parade will start at 11 a.m. and the concert will follow, and that will be at Clubhouse 2 beginning about noon. So there are events coming on July 4th. Thank you.
He also wanted to ask a question about the fees of Clubhouse 5. Do you
That's
have
an
any-
item on the agenda, so typically we discuss that when the item comes up.
Okay, all right. Does anybody want to respond to any other things? I wanted to respond to Ira, if you give me a moment.
By all means.
Ira, I'm the committee chair of the landscape, and I will definitely look into the reason why we haven't changed over to the organic rather than synthetic, and would love to listen to our staff and tell us what they have in mind and what they're doing. And Gail, I appreciate your concern. We talked about it. There are a few of our board members who also voted against the $335,000, and but it's a longer story than just for two minutes over here. So we can talk a little later about that. And all right, I think I'm done. I may want to address the gentleman who talked about the coyotes, that we have a plan, we are working on it, and it's not easy. So it's a whole different conversation, but we are working on it. Thank you. Yes, Martin, what did you have?
Thank you. And thank you to everyone who got up and spoke on all the topics that was received. A lot of good information. I know Beverly about the HOA costs and you know what, it's tough. You know, we got to do all we can to get this, control this budget. At Juanita, the library system, yeah, the honor system that they've got to have, it's like everything gets dispersed and you got to gather it all up. There's no reason why we can't go to organic. You know, I mean, like, that should happen like really quick. It should be something our purchasing department needs to look at. Yeah, I was one of those that voted down the $337,000 for building E. And the coyotes, not to cite people that are feeding the varmints, you know, whether it's squirrels or I mean, that would be an easy video or picture to take if you've seen food out in front of someone's unit to report that. I think that's critical. And I hope that nobody occupies that abandoned RV that's in the lot. That wouldn't be good to bring on transits. I'm just grateful for everyone bringing forth the information that you did. It was very informative, and yeah, we've got to move forward on a lot of issues that are important to this community, and I thank you so much.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything to say? Yes, John.
First of all, I just want to thank everyone for coming. We appreciate you being here. We desperately appreciate your input, your concerns that you bring forward to us that we can try to act on. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't for multiple reasons. But like Martin said, there's some good things here. We need to try to effectively consider and respond to them. Thank you for being here.
Okay. Anybody else? This is really bright. Is it possible that we can dim it down a bit?
I need a ball cap.
My cap doesn't have a long enough bill to.
Is that better, Krish? We dimmed it a bit.
Okay, thank you. Slightly better, yes. Yes. Okay. I wanted to mention that the lady who brought up, Juliana Goodwin, about the coyote, I don't know how to say it, bereavement or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She left.
Okay, if she left, maybe we can work on the project and
She needs to form a club.
That's correct. If you know her, can you pass that message to her? I don't know. Do you have the phone number of that lady?
I will ask Eric, our security director, to work with social services and follow up with her.
Would be lovely, because she's not the only one, but I keep getting phone calls during the month at home. So I don't know what to tell them. And this is one of the things I suggested to the people, that maybe you should all get together. I don't have any other things to say. Anybody else? All right, if not, then we can move forward. I understand today was a long day. Where are we? The consent calendar. We have 3 items on the consent calendar, and if we would like to approve them, 2 items. One we already moved, correct. So
I make a motion that we
accept
the consent calendar.
Second.
Okay, second. If there is no objection, then the consent calendar is approved. What happened?
Nothing.
The room just got empty.
The place is just empty.
Yeah. So we have unfinished business next. So we did. We got the consent calendar approved.
I mean, not the consent, but the community points. Do that right now.
Okay, if you want to do that. We already had what did you want to change in the?
So we need to follow the agenda, if you don't mind. So we'll do the committee appointments when we get to that item.
Yes.
Sorry.
So we got to go deep into
We
our
have to follow
packet
the,
and
yeah,
then
we have to
back.
follow along the agenda.
I was trying to keep the packet in order, but if you
It
want
is in order. We have your item at the bottom of the unfinished
Okay.
business.
So the next item is entertain a motion to approve. Are we going to
So-
11A?
The next item is your disciplinary update report, which staff is not here for today. So if you guys want to quickly review that.
Okay. So 11A is disciplinary update, and if you have read it and you have no other comments on it, then we can go ahead and approve it.
Just a discussion item.
Which item are we talking about?
We're on item 11A. So it's, you guys just, typically Francis comes up here and
I know.
answers questions for you. So you don't need to make a motion or anything
Francis
like
is
that.
not coming today. I was
Correct, yes.
Neither is anybody else.
Correct.
No,
So-
they're in a meeting.
So correct. So don't we just
You're not approving anything. You're just reviewing, that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Do we have any comments on that one? Anybody? If not, then we can move forward to 11B. Correct?
Yes.
11B is entertain a motion to approve the Performing Arts Center Music Room reservation modification. May initial notification, 28-day notification. So this is now a final approval after the 28 days, correct? All right. Then do we have anybody here from the staff to talk about it, or do we want to continue to talk about it?
Allison's here if you have any questions. You did review
Yeah.
it last month.
We did. So I just want to ask the board if they have any questions. Okay. Okay. So there was one thing I noted, that the blue paper says 11B on the bottom. That's all. Anybody else? If there is no other question for Allison, then do we want to go ahead and vote?
We have to vote on
approve
this?
it?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to
I'll
pass
second.
resolution.
And John is seconding. Yes. Anybody else? Do we have no other questions or concerns? Then
Will we vote on
we
screen?
need to.
Our system is down right now, so if there are no objections, then I'll mark it as unanimous.
No objections.
objection.
I don't see any objections. Okay. Do we put our hands up?
I like
Vote?
voting on the screen.
We do, but it's not
Yeah,
available.
unfortunately, it's the only day.
All right. So if there's no objections, then the motion passes. I just want you to note that whoever concerned that the 11B is noted as
Yes.
12B on the bottom.
We will
Yeah.
correct that.
No, just for your information. All right. Next item is 11C, and that is entertain a motion to approve the Recreation and Special Events Department operating rules review and golf course dress code too, all right? So this is again a 28-day approval. It was put in motion last month. So this month is the end of the 28 days. So do I hear a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution of the dress
Martin
code.
and
Of course.
Mickey seconds. If there are no objections or concerns, then the motion carries and it's approved. Okay, 11D, entertain a motion to approve junior guest rate pilot program at the Par 3 cost for 26th. May was the initial notification of the 28-day notification. So again, this one is to approve the thing.
Pilot program.
Pardon?
Isn't this the proof of pilot program for the juniors?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion to approve this? Okay, John, any second? Yeah, Mickey seconds?
Discussion?
I have a question.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
discussion.
Now is the time.
Yeah. So I agree with the rate change, but Allison, why do we need all these operating rules in here?
The operating rules are all tied by one resolution, so we have to include them because they all come together. We're only looking at the dress code policy, though, so you just have to focus on that.
So our lapidary class and studio, they have to wear shirts with collars?
No, this is only, the red lines are on the golf policy only. So because all of the policies, or all of the operating rules are tied to the same resolution, just as, I guess, standard protocol, we need to include everything in the packet to bring it all forward, so you have you have everything. But we're only looking
Okay, I
at golf
get it.
policy.
It seems like an awful waste of paper.
I agree. I don't think
Yes,
the rules.
Martin?
Yeah, this is a change in the rate for junior guests, not just guests, but junior guests.
Junior
So-
guest fee, yes.
So guests are, excuse me, the guest rate is going to remain $18, is that
Yes.
correct? Just wanted to make that clarification to the board. And the junior rate is for 13 and under?
It's under 18.
Under
Up
18?
to 17, yes.
Okay.
But it's for Part 3,
Par 3
Just for
only.
the Part 3, yeah.
not at
So,
the main golf.
so guests will still have to pay 18. And we're going to now monitor to see if how this works out, if this is a good move
Correct.
to
And
do.
it was discussed when we bring the fees back for golf, we can look at that $18 guest rate across the board and make adjustments if necessary.
Good, thank you.
And we said pilot program, so how
Yeah.
long is this pilot?
Yes.
End of the year.
End of the year. We made
End
the
of
change
this
last
year.
meeting. Yes.
So 27, again, it will be what?
18.
Yes, but we will probably come back to the CAC, I'd say in October, to bring it back and see if it's something we want to move forward with going forward past the end of the year.
Got it.
If
After we
anything,
have
I
more
would,
data.
if anything, I'd like to see the guest rate go down to 10.
Correct, and we will
Not
meet
just
with
junior
financial-
guests, but
One
guests.
thing at a time.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yes, we'll
Thank you.
meet with financial services later this summer to determine overall golf discussion,
Thank
golf
you.
fees discussion.
You guys are awesome.
So
Thank
we
you.
have a move for the motion and a second. So it's time to, if there is no objection, anybody, any objection? If there's no objection, nobody on the screen is saying anything.
The system is down this morning. We have to vote manually.
So, no, we're not talking about that. I'm asking for the people on the screen if they have anything to. Yeah. So If there's nothing going on, then this motion is approved. So we are now at number E. Entertain a motion to approve recreation room rental fee for Clubhouse 5 Fitness Center. What does that mean to me? That if I go to the fitness room in Clubhouse 5, I have to pay money?
It's a rentable space.
This is the space located near the office. It's not the actual fitness center, it's a fitness classroom. So it's an open room where we have dance classes, hula lessons, bike classes. So what we're trying to do is establish a fee so that people can use it when there aren't classes in session.
I purposely asked this question because there was a question from Doug Gibson earlier. So I want him to understand that it is not, if he
You're
goes
not
to
charging
use
for the
the
fitness center.
treadmill, he's not going to be charged.
No.
Okay. So, Doug, you still here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you heard what we said. All right. So, do I hear a first, a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Any
accept the
second?
resolution of the
Okay,
Clubhouse
John,
5 Fitness.
second. And if there is no objection, then this motion.
We do have member comments on this item.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. Who is that? Is it online or is it?
Oh, my mistake, my mistake.
Okay, all right. So we are done with number E. The motion carries and it is approved. So we're now to number.
Committee assignment.
Are you anxious about that? All right.
Paul, can we go down committee assignments
Yes,
now?
we can go on right now, which we'll go over the one by one. So for the Community Activities Committee, we have Phyllis Mitchell as an alternate for United. And our next change is our Finance Committee, which we removed John Kelso and replaced him with Bunny Carpenter for GRF. And then also Jonathan Bustani has been added as an alternate for United. Are we good so far?
Good so far.
Okay. Excuse me. For ITech,
ITech.
okay.
Yes, let's do a switch here. Show Bunny Carpenter as chair, and I'll be the alternate.
Okay.
That was the big change. Thank you.
1 second.
Bunny, are you listening?
She's there. She can't
I know
speak.
Bunny Carpenter is aware.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, she's got her hand up now.
Yes, I am aware.
That was you. Okay. Don't scare me.
All right, let me go ahead and read over the other changes, if you don't mind. So Murad Caspi for United has been removed and was replaced with Maggie Blackwell. That's on United.
Which one is that?
ITech.
Okay.
And Sue Kwam was added as an alternate for United. This is for ITech. The next one we're moving to is Landscape Committee, which Brad Reinhardt was removed and Bunny Carpenter was added. Are there any changes to that as well, Martin, or are we good?
No, that's fine. It's already on the paper.
Okay. Our next one is Maintenance and Construction Committee, which Brad Reinhardt was removed as your alternate, and John Kelso was added as an alternate. And Kathy Bravada from United was also added as an alternate. We are next on Broadband Committee. Broadband with United, Phyllis Mitchell has been added. Mary Sinclair has been removed as an alternate, and Sue Kwam has been added as an alternate. Our next committee is the Mobility and Vehicle Committee. Brad Reinhardt has been removed as an alternate, and Bunny Carpenter has been added as an alternate. And for United, Maggie Blackwell was added as an alternate. Our next committee is the Security and Community Access. Wendy Kirkchek was removed from United, and Mary Sinclair was added. And also Maggie Blackwell was removed as the alternate, and Jonathan Bustani was added as an alternate. Now we are on disaster preparedness. We have Mary Sinclair of United being added as an alternate. And Going down to space planning, Bunny Carpenter was removed as an alternate and added as a regular member, and Mickey Choi Ho was added as an alternate. And with United adding Maggie Blackwell as an alternate. Our next one is Energy Ad Hoc. Brad Reinhardt has been removed, and Bunny Carpenter has been added. Next one will be Strategic Land Use Ad Hoc Committee. Removal of Mickey Choi Ho and the addition of Bunny Carpenter for GRF. And we have Winnie Kirkchick as an alternate removed from United, and Anthony Liberatory being added as an alternate. For our last one is our Water Conservation Committee. Charlie Prater has been added as an alternate from United, and that is it.
Cool. Do we need to approve this, or?
Yes, we need a motion and a second.
Okay.
As amended.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a move and a second. If there is no objection, then this is approved. And when you get a chance, I'd like a new copy with the print. Thank you. All right.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the last thing that you said.
I just asked them to give me a copy
Oh.
with the new changes. All right, so, whoa, we are in new business. Item 12A, entertain a motion to approve a supplemental appropriation of $400,000 from the GRF Equipment and Fund to complete the ERP Phase 2 and the use of $100,000 from the existing 10% project contract contingency fund, resulting in a 12.5% adjustment in the total revised project cost.
Is Chuck here?
Chuck is here, okay. And first we need to have a motion and a second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. So now we can do the discussion. Anybody have any questions?
Is Chuck here?
Yes.
Sorry, who made the motion and seconded?
John,
motion.
okay, Yvonne and John.
Wait, John Cornell or?
Ah, there's our man.
Thank
John
you.
Cornell. And
Up to
Thank
bat.
you. Okay, thank you.
Here's the man of the hour.
Perfect timing, Chuck. Get up to the plate.
I was watching you guys. Good morning, members of the board. I appreciate the opportunity to present to you today. And we're here today to take a look at a supplemental appropriation for approximately $500,000. This money will be utilized to augment our existing ERP system. The original budget, the original budget for this particular project was $4 million.
You okay?
Yeah.
I can give you some
I
more.
ran down here, excuse me. Was actually $4 million. This project kicked off in the discovery phase in 2021. We kicked off the project officially in 2022. We went through all the way through 23, 24, and went live with our financial system in September of 2024. We closed our first 2 year ends on the new financial system. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. We've been actively operating on our new financial system since September 2024. The first year on any new system is very, very challenging, very difficult. When we originally put together this budget, it was in 2021. And so here we are in 2026. So because of the cost of consulting fees, the cost of additional software programming, the additional cost of licensing, we're about 75% complete with the project, the overall project. So we have about 25% more of the project to go. And so we're down to our last $50,000 of support funds. So we wanted to go in for a supplemental of $500,000 to help us push this over the line. This is a really important part of the project is because this has to do with the maintenance operation. The current maintenance system that you're utilizing right now is from 2005. So there has been no significant investment in your maintenance operation systems since 2005. So I need this additional funding to help bring in the right people, the consulting people, to get this new module up and running and help us train over 200 employees out in the field, because we're going to need the help. So that's the ask, the request. Like I said, we're at 75% completion. I'm asking for an additional 12.5% over the initial $4 million. So we're looking at all in at $4.5 million.
So,
Question.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's 75% complete on phase 2.
On phase 2, correct, yes. And we're about 90 on phase 1 on our accounting system. It's a work in progress. We're 90% there. This is a continually evolving product. There's new modules coming online all the time. There's new training that's coming on all the time. And it will be constantly training and evolving and updating, and right? It's just like software. You just don't set it and forget it.
No.
Even when you buy Microsoft Word, they give you a
It's
new
dynamic, it's breathing. I'm surprised we didn't do this months ago. I know you've been doing as much as you can with what you've had.
Right.
And, I know that being closed, I can't talk much about it, but I do know that they've been doing this project the right way. I mean, they've really designed the documentation into it, and I'm very impressed with what I've read, and like what the SharePoint that you gave me. I really recommend to the board that we approve this extra funding for this project to get it done. It's going to be for the benefit of the residents. But I know that phase 2 you've been peeling back the onion and going deep into and finding things that you got to write these special script files in order to be able to go from old to new, and keeping the old working while you're developing the new. So.
And one thing that people don't forget about now, not only are we actually putting in new software and hardware, we're revitalizing all our processes, all our standard operating procedures, identified, rewritten, posted online. So we've already written over 400 standard operating procedures for between accounting, the CEO's office, manor alterations, resident services, every single thing that we're taking a look at, we're disassembling it, rebuilding it, documenting it, and then now putting it online and operationalizing it in a system. So what we're building is absolutely phenomenal. You got a chance to sit in on our ITAC meeting last week. I think you were blown away, right? It was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
technology
the demonstration.
The demo, yeah.
And maintenance is, like you say, it's going to be a tall task to get them on the new system.
Yeah, because we have about 50 or so, I've got about 200 employees out there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Told you with it.
Yeah.
I watched as much of the high-tech meeting last Friday until my kids called, and it was impressive. And I would support everything that Martin just said. Thank you for your great work.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chuck. Do you think by the end of this year, we will be able to get to a point where we say, all right?
Well, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. But
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he will.
Right here.
Yes. One moment.
Nothing. I heard one little word in there that I hadn't heard before, and it was hardware. So within this, there's some hardware you have to buy too?
No, it's additional consulting in software. There is some hardware as far as tablet devices, but we have funding for stuff like that. We have
Okay.
Yeah. But the major hardware.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments or questions? If not, then let's vote and put it on the road.
Is it a screen vote?
Again, the screen's not voting. So
Okay,
just
so if there
either
is no-
hand raise or unanimous.
Can you fix that?
We have a ticket in. We have a ticket in.
All right.
All in favor?
If there's all in favor?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Carmen, Bunny, are you there?
We can't get their votes, I think.
Oh, there's Bunny.
Carmen?
Come on, wake up.
Carmen's gone for a coffee.
You're in the new chair, Bunny.
All right. Okay.
There we go. Harmony.
Okay, both have.
Yeah, thank
so
you,
we
Chuck.
have. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it.
Track star.
So what's our number? That's number A. A is done. 12B. 12B. Entertain a motion to approve donation of 2 additional misting systems from the Lawn Bowling Club. Lawn Bowling Club, are you here? Okay. First, we need to get a motion and a second.
Do we need to read the resolution?
I don't know. Where's our secretary?
Paul, do we need to read the resolution?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. I think Carmen's under the weather right now.
If you guys want, we can just read the now therefore be it resolved portion of the resolution just for time purposes. If you want, I can go ahead and read those for you guys. So for this one, it is Resolution 9026XX, supplemental appropriation to complete, I'm sorry, wrong one. Lawn bowling club donation of 2 misting systems. Now therefore be it resolved June 2nd, 2026, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts the lawn bowling request of the donation of 2 additional misting systems for the lawn bowling amenity, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized to carry out this resolution as written.
Got it. So, with
Not, it's free.
that's, I know sometime back we had an issue with something free also. I can't believe it. But do I have a motion?
Did you hear a motion?
Mickey
Yeah, we did a
and
motion already.
Mickey and Martin.
Take a vote.
So if there are no objection, then I think this motion is carried. Okay? So it's done. Next one is entertain a motion to approve supplemental appropriation request of $50,643.78 for golf course bunker renovation. Didn't we approve that last time? Something, which one is this?
We did.
Which one is this one?
This is a supplemental appropriation request for the bunker project.
Yeah.
But didn't we do some 200,000 or 300,000?
No.
That was approved by the board in the last capital, the 2026
We approved
capital.
to do 9 holes this year, but they need an extra 50 to do that 9 holes. Is that correct?
It's a total of 25, actually, bunkers.
Not 50?
It's so we can complete the entire project for course 1.
For course 1, for the
Yes.
first 9 holes.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, I'm losing track of it.
Yeah, we're graduating into
All right, you keep a track of that. Okay. All right, so do I have a motion to approve that?
Do you want us to read a portion of the resolution first?
Sorry?
Do you want us to read a portion of the resolution first?
Why not? Go ahead.
Resolution 9026XX, golf course bunker renovation supplemental appropriation request. Now therefore be it resolved June 2nd, 2026, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves a resolution to approve a supplemental appropriation of $50,643.78 to complete the bunker renovation project on course 1 at the 27-hole golf course, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution.
Cool. So, did we have a motion?
I'll have a
Okay, John, and second John? 2 Johns. John 2, 1 and 2.
discussion.
Yes, sir.
I played that course last week. I was in the bunker 4 times. Every single time hitting out, it was like cement. It rocketed right away. How soon can we get this done?
Well, pending the contract approval, we will start in a few weeks.
I lost 4 strokes on that round because of that. So.
My apologies.
No complaining.
Poor Mark.
But yes, they desperately
All
need
right,
to.
if there is no, any other objection or question? Anybody? Okay, if there is none, then the motion is approved. Okay. All right. We are at number
D.
E?
D as in dog.
D as in dog, okay. Entertain a motion to approve emergency supplemental appropriation in the amount of $54,490 for West Creek fuel modification. 50,000 seems like a good number today. All right.
If you want, I can read the resolution.
Thank you.
Yes. Resolution 9026XX, approving an emergency supplemental appropriation for West Creek fuel modification. Now therefore be it resolved June 2nd, 2026, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves an emergency supplemental appropriation in the amount of $54,490 from the Facilities Fund for the completion of the West Creek fuel modification project, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized to carry out this resolution as written.
All right. Do I have a motion? Thank you, John.
I'll second it.
Second, Martin. Yes, sir?
What does it mean by fuel modification?
I got a quick answer to that.
Somebody here? Kurt is here. Let Kurt explain.
Good morning. The question, what is fuel?
No, what is the fuel modification?
Oh, it means removing all excess stuff that can burn in a wildfire. So
Okay.
it's all about wildfire prevention and keeping it from spreading from the open space outside the wall into the interior of the community.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
No, great pictures to the staff for providing the pictures that what you got to clear out. And it looks pretty bad. That,
It's a
you know,
it's a jungle back there.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to say compliments to the staff for the information provided. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you been to the West Creek? Do you know where it is?
No, I got pictures though.
Okay.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll do a field trip for you. And if there is no objection or question, then the thing is approved. All right.
The only thing I would like to mention is if you don't do this, we'll get fined by the fire department.
That is true too. I mean, that Kurt should have mentioned. Yeah. Okay. Next is the fiber installation update. Who is doing that?
Thank you.
Oh, Jose.
Yes. All right, I do see, we have a slide prepared, I believe. It's, would you mind pulling it up? I just want to show a graphic on the board here. But I just wanted to make everyone aware as far as where we are and really the TV audience at home and those behind me, just making sure that we're all under the same page. Just to give you an idea, we have now completed over half of the pre-wires, so over half of the community has been pre-wired. And today we will be installing our 5,000th unit. So 5,000 residents now have, or it was literally like 4,990 when I checked a few minutes ago. But we will get our 5,000th today, so this is exciting. But I did want to make everyone aware as far as what's going on and asking for the audience's help. So there on your screen, these numbers are as of the middle of May, but I wanted to give you an idea of where we are. There on top you see your past addresses, and past means that everything's been pre-wired, that we run light, that's how we get internet, that's how we get data, and that the light has been brought up to the building, and then the next column there, served, they call it served, it's installed. That means we've poked through, we're already inside the home, and the home is ready to go. So you can see that as of the middle of May, we had 6,142 units that were passed or ready to be installed. But yet we had only installed about 4,500 of them, or 4,600. The difference there being 1,559, you can see in that first column, that total gap. Of those, we had about a third that we had already scheduled. And then what that means is that we had made contact with the resident and agreed upon a time where an installation would go ahead and occur. So that's wonderful, but that left about 1,000 that had not yet been scheduled. And here's where I'm asking for the audience's help. Out of those 1,000, about a tenth, or about 90, we did not have the correct information for. That means we didn't have a good address, or an email address, or we didn't have a good phone number. So please, 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 make sure that we go out and make sure that Resident Services has our correct phone numbers, because that's the way we're going to be able to get communication to you as well as an email address. If you're so inclined, you can opt in for text messages, and there's all of that kind of information. So that's one of the things. That left about 940 of our reachable pool. And out of those, we have been going through great lengths to try to get these installations scheduled. We call time and time again, and when we call, we leave messages as well. So for those people that we've left at least 6 messages for, about half of them, at some point we're going to stop calling, right? So about half of the people we've left messages for, we've called time and time again, and still can't get through. So that's really what I want to talk about. What we're doing, again, we're calling, we are knocking on doors, leaving behind the little leave-behinds, or what we call them. We have a new commercial on TV6 that you may have seen, or maybe in some of your network television, really urging people to call. We've established an 800 number to have people call us, because we've found that it takes on average about 2.7 phone calls, outgoing phone calls, so when we're actually able to reach a resident and schedule. So we have that phone number. Those watching at home, or I know that Paul's putting that number on the screen right now. It is 714-263-1826 to go ahead and call in and schedule your own appointment if you live in gates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. If you live in gates 1 through 6, we're ready to schedule your appointments. Please call that phone number that's on your screen. So that's one of the things that we wanted to let you know. And then also that, again, we're making commercials. We're doing whatever we can to reach these people, because we want everyone to be ready to be installed. To give you an idea, we have capacity to do about 100, maybe even 120 installs a day. We are currently doing between 40 and 60. So we have capacity to do so much more. We're ready to get to you. We want to get to you. We need your help to be able to schedule those.
Question?
Jose, may I request you to repeat that number one more time?
Absolutely.
So people may not be able to write it so quickly.
Sure. That number to call in is 714-263-1826.
If you get this number down, please dial and call and get yourself an appointment to install. Yes, Martin first and John second.
Just so you know, I mean, I'm sure you know, but on Saturday, we had the installation contractor with us at the Ambassador Bazaar show, or whatever that thing was. And that was a great addition to the ambassadors. We must have had 30 or 40 people go up to the construction manager. When am I going to get my ting? And we will have him and DirecTV on Thursday at the concert in Clubhouse 1. I'm not sure if he will be there. They'll be with us on Clubhouse. What's Saturday? Which Clubhouse? I can't remember which Clubhouse, but they'll be with us on Saturday, I hope.
So yeah, we're definitely getting out to as many events
Yeah.
as we can to try to schedule people. You mentioned Saturdays. We schedule Monday through Saturday, so we go from 8 to noon and 1 to 5. So we even stay after if it's warranted. So lots of opportunities.
Yes, Martin.
I'm grateful that I guess they found a problem with their schedule notifications, that they were able to get that resolved, and that's very good. I'm hoping that the concern, of course, is the bad information that we have on some of these contacts. That I'm hoping that staff would look at to see, are we calling the owner or a renter, or are we, if it's we should have a list of like West Coast customers that maybe of those 490 that if we have the West Coast contact information, I don't know if they'd be willing to give it up, but I know they're going away. But I'm just concerned about that end of year, what it's going to be if it's finished. When we were talking about defining the word finish, and I'm hoping that, you know, we really need our residents to make sure they've got the right information to Laguna Woods Village Resident Services for contact information so that you can get scheduled. That's so critical. We're going to be preaching that like there's no tomorrow over the next 3 months.
And that's what I'm here to do, because getting back to exactly your point, as of the writing of this report, we had 1,500 people that could be installed that weren't. I just a minute ago told you we have capacity to do about 100 a day. That's 3 weeks, right? And we're halfway done. If everyone waits at this pace, we're going to be 6 weeks out potentially. We don't want you to go without internet. West Coast is going away. You won't have West Coast internet by the end of the year, so the quicker you get switched over,
But you got to
the
be a
better
past
you are.
address first in order to be able to be scheduled. You got to get the fiber ahead before you can be
So
scheduled.
gates 1 through 6.
I just have a legal question that we.
Hang on a
that
second.
came-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This one first.
He's John 1, so he's.
Okay, John.
Okay. On Saturday, I was asked numerous times if, the email that you sent out went to the owner of the manor. But there was a renter in there. And it should have gone to the renter. Probably the renter didn't put in an email address or something. Can the renter authorize the installation of ting without the authorization of the manor owner?
Yes.
I suppose so.
Yes.
It's going to be part of the infrastructure. It's like putting in a water heater or something like that. It's going to be, as a matter of fact, you won't even own the equipment. It's all property of Ting, and it is part of the infrastructure. It's like a phone jack or something like that that's in your home.
Okay. Yes, John.
Where should someone go to make sure that they have the correct information available for what you need to be able to do the installation? Where can I go to make sure the information you have is correct?
You can call Resident Services. Resident Services will be able to have that information. If you're continuously getting contact now, I'm confident that it's already there, but it's always good to double check. Resident Services.
I'm in Third Mutual, so I'm going to be August probably before I get the opportunity to have Ting. So just call Resident Services now to make sure they have the correct address and correct phone number?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else have a question?
Over here.
Yes, sir. Again?
You got to turn both ways.
You or her?
It was me.
Oh, okay.
Jose, we're starting to slurry our streets. Is that going to slow down production?
Not significantly. We're going to continue to move forward. Again, the majority of the work is already done.
Well, I live off of Gate 7, so
We will work in tandem and make sure that you're all taken care of.
Okay.
So that is part of my question too, that now wherever you are in gate 5 and 6, correct?
Yes.
So where do you go from there? Go to gate 7 or go to gate 10 and 11?
Actually, we're going to go to gate 14 next.
After 14, you come to
After
7?
14, we're going to come, sorry, I don't know my gates. We're going to come across El Toro, and then right after the golf course, head north. So this gate right over here.
We're the
whatever that is.
last.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Sorry. You don't know where I live. I live on the moon.
I mean, their DirecTV will be with us on Thursday, and that's an actual DirecTV employee.
Let's move on. Yes.
For a
Let's
later
move
meeting.
Later meeting, yes.
Very good.
All right. With that, we keep moving. We are now at...
Thank you.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you, Siobhan.
Here. Number F, 12F. Well, this is about disaster preparedness, and I was sent a message to hold off on this till next month, send this resolution back to the committee. This So,
Person needs to be introduced.
okay, introduce it. Would you
Want
like
us to read the resolution first?
just a heading and a partial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me pull it up on my screen here. Okay. Resolution 9026XX, Disaster Preparedness Committee Charter. Now therefore be it resolved, June 2nd, 2026, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby establishes the Disaster Preparedness Committee for the purpose to recruit and train good neighbor building/block captains to educate and train residents on disaster preparedness, volunteer coordination, and education and outreach. And then there's several resolved furthers after that, but that's the main part of the resolution.
So the message I received in between was to send this back to the committee to review and approve. So,
Kush, I thought that was already approved.
Haven't they already approved it?
no, I
charter.
don't know what, this is just what the message I was received.
Would you like staff to present and discuss this item?
Say that again?
Would you like staff to present? We have staff here to present this item.
No, I just want this to be done correctly.
Right, so staff can let you know what the recommendation is.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean staff? You mean chief?
Yeah.
There he is. Chief.
But this was a committee of people who approached me over the weekend and this morning and requested that this be sent back. There's something wrong with it. And I don't know what is wrong, so I don't want to be the one interpreting what they were objecting. But with my consulting with...
Let's find out what it is.
How will I find out if I don't know what it was?
And if you like, after presenting, and if you really like to go back to the committee, then you can make a motion to referring back to the committee.
That's
Okay. Yes.
that's what it is.
Right.
And I asked Catherine about it, that can we send it back to the committee? And that's what I was...
Yes, you can, but you might
Yeah.
want to let it go through to the board. For
Because, yeah, the agenda was approved
It's
as
too
is.
bright.
So
I'm gonna
after
put my hat-
presentation, you can make a motion to send it back to the committee, and then we could go from
Okay.
there.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. And before you is the staff report and the resolution, obviously, as well as the charter for the Disaster Preparedness Committee. Just quickly, I just want to let you know that the Disaster Preparedness Task Force, some background, was created back in 1992. It's had a couple revisions, not only to the charter, but in its organization and its mandates, what they're trying to accomplish. Back on May 5th, if you recall, it was this esteemed board that went ahead and dissolved the Disaster Preparedness Task Force to make it an official committee. It was brought to the next Disaster Preparedness Task Force meetings, regularly scheduled meeting, that they were now going to be a committee, but needed a charter. And then on May 26th, we had two charters to look at. One was the charter that was created by what they call the steering committee, which is the board members of our committee, which was Steve Parsons, Director Costello, and Director Liberatore got together, and we're looking at this original charter. And that charter had about 25 items on it. It was given to us the week just before the meeting. Reviewed it over the weekend. Met with Francis Gomez, who handles all of our governing documents and these kind of preparations. So discussed what actually would be something that this board would, review, approve, and would be within our governing docs and our past practices. And so revised a new charter for that group, the Disaster Preparedness Committee, which is only 7 items on there that's before you, and then presented that to the group, to the committee, as well as to the audience. Everybody got a copy of it to look at. And then they took a vote on that. And it was decided by the committee as a unanimous vote, 8-0, that they approved the charter that was presented to them that staff had created for them. And then it was asked to go ahead and present this to GRF to get it approved, which is why I'm here today. I'm not sure either, because I was never contacted myself directly or otherwise, that they wanted to have it reviewed again. But I know that it's in compliance with compliance and our governing docs, and I know that it had received a unanimous vote of 8-0 to be approved. So that's what we were required to present a charter to you for consideration.
Okay, Martin.
Thank you. Yes, I could see a concern about what makes up the committee. You've got, directors of the Golden Rain Foundation and 3 Mutuals staff, and residents. Are these residents, are they voting members, or are they just advisors? And that's my first question. Is there, is that? I asked the staff, is that in compliance to have just standard residents be a member of the committee, other than an advisor? The other question is, you've asked for experienced in emergency preparedness. That's a very wide open qualification that, maybe there's some residents that just want to volunteer for the sake of wanting to help and learning as they go. And just, we need those people,
Right.
So it's about the qualifications of the committee. That would be my concern about this, this resolution.
Yeah, I think that
Thank you.
the committee itself is like every other GRF committee, right? And that's what this resolution, the resolution reflects, and as well as the charter, is that every GRF committee has a GRF, chair, and then everybody else is represented and has the ability even to have, and we do have, an advisor that is a resident.
Those are
And,
valuable.
and he happens to have some experience with disaster preparedness, having dealt with an aviation incident. The preference is to have somebody that the body that's making decisions about disaster preparedness have some background or at least some experience with disaster preparedness and understanding, just as well as we have our volunteers that are associated with our committees that have some background with that too and act in that capacity. The reality is that most of the heavy lifting with the connection with the requirements of disaster response, recovery, and mitigation happens through the director himself or the security department. And the great thing is I guess it's the wisdom really of this group, as well as Director Parsons had met with, I believe, President Bahada on this, and looked at how we can better serve our residents. And one of the things is to bifurcate, kind of, if you will, the disaster preparedness committee, so that the technical work of working in conjunction with the city, the operational area, Orange County Fire Authority, and the Sheriff's Department would be delegated or handled through the security department and the director of security and his designees. The other part, which is a very big part and an important part, is our volunteer group. And Director Parsons wanted to make sure that he had something that laid out specifically what they would hope to do with the volunteer group. That is the attachment that you see that was initially the recommendation that he had come up with, or his version and his steering group's version, you may not see that, I have it here on mine, I'm sorry. It was something that we brought to the vote for them. And in it was 25 things, and it was more of a task list of things that they would complete, and it made sense, but it wasn't an appropriate document for our governing documents in terms of having a charter. It didn't really have charter, it wasn't a charter language, it was more task-oriented. That is specific, those things are actually good to have, and that it'll still be something that he has and his group has to act on, but it's not the way that this group actually would want the committee to be chartered and ran and operated. It does allow, this charter does allow for all of that to occur, but it isn't restrictive in that manner. So it just really speaks to how we're going to actually run the committee and then actually be able to affect disaster preparedness in terms of response, recovery, and
I would just
mitigation.
think that the residents, I'm still finished, the residents, their role needs to be better defined in as far as committee member on the task force. That's all. That would be a good reason to bounce it
Yeah,
back.
I'd like to just ask a question to Chair. Did you have any idea why, or what is a concern, from the committee that it has to report back to committee?
Say it again, sorry.
I mean, you said that this morning you were asked, that committee member asked this
committee
motion
member.
to back to the committee, but, I mean, do you know what the reason is?
The community members came to me and said, please don't approve this because there's something not correct. And there was not enough time to get a detailed response from those people, including some people called me over the weekend and says, please don't get this approved, send it back to the committee. And I said, okay, I'll try my best, and that's why I'm talking to, we are not experts on all this.
Can staff comment on my concern about the committee member's role the residents' role in being a committee member?
I don't think we want to put the staff under that.
I'm not exactly sure in what sense.
Yeah,
They're
I
welcome
don't-
to come
I
to
just
the
don't know if
meetings
they're
and be
a vote.
involved, but the structure is set up where the board.
And must they be
members-
experienced in emergency services?
You're saying they must be experienced?
No,
Well, it
it's
says
not.
that they are experienced in emergency services.
Would you have any objection, Chief, if we send this back to the committee to review and agree on with you guys completely? So we don't want to be the experts on deciding whether we should approve this or not.
Coach,
At least
did
yes,
they
John.
give you a specific question why the person or persons wanted it returned? And there's a lady back over there who's waving her hand.
Who, I can't see you.
We do have several member comments, so when the board is ready, I can start
Okay.
calling their names.
So if we want, we can get to that. Yes, John?
Why can't, I was on the committee when we voted for the shorter charter. And at that point, I believe we were in compliance with everything and everybody was in agreement. Part of my question now is, why can't we go ahead and vote to accept this? If it needs revision, then they can come back to us with change. Why not?
Let's listen to the people's members' comments.
Grace, why can't we?
So we'll have a member come up here. We can't go back and forth, so we'll have a member come up here.
Yeah, I
first.
think, and I also think that if there's a concern about one line out of the whole charter that says experience, you can just redline that out, and
Okay.
we don't have to put that in there.
Yeah.
Let's listen to the people, Chief.
Okay.
First speaker is Grace Stensel, and then
Nay.
following is Richard Hall.
Good morning, or afternoon, I guess, by now.
Very confusing what's going on with this committee versus the addendum that the security department presented at the meeting. I'm going to take more than 2 minutes, and I think it's important enough to discuss. Okay, I was at the meeting last week. I attended it. I had the agenda in hand. Moments before the meeting started, security handed out an 11-page packet that was an addendum to the new committee charter, the new Disaster Preparedness Committee charter. Not enough time to read it, not enough time to vote on it. However, they did vote on it. It was not unanimous. One board member voted no. The rest voted yes without reading it because they didn't have time to read it. So that's a little bit of, I object to that because you people are representing us. That is not representation when you vote on something that isn't read. Also, I'm very confused about, it's always, okay, I'm sorry. The addendum was, I'm so out of place here. The addendum presented by security, does it take the place of the disaster committee that was formed and bring it back to the EOP? Have you all read the EOP? Are you all familiar with what it says? Because in it, unless I'm wrong, it's 118 pages. I've read it 3 times. And what I have found in it is that it gives complete, exact directions to employees, to staff, to resident volunteers, but not to the residents. So it doesn't really bring in the residents. And my issue is that, I guess I'm asking what's it directed to? What is EOP directed towards? Is it directed towards the residents? I can't see that anywhere. I'm sorry, but this is just such a mess. I want to know why there's so much angst, or it seems to be a lot of angst about residents being directly involved in their own survival. We always have this little bit, I respect the security department, but we have this little bit of head banging between residents and security. Why can't residents be part of the plan to protect us for our own survival? It just seems to be an objection to that.
It's okay. She came to me and said she might need a little.
I did ask him.
Yeah.
He gave me permission. Do you see a need for a plan for residents? That's my question. By maybe using meetings with residents and networking. Collaboration is a good word. We should be able to do that. But it seems that everyone does their own thing. For instance, did you guys all get the addendum that Mr. Nunez was talking about? At that meeting last week, the committee presented their charter. And then a minute before the meeting started, or a couple of minutes before the meeting started, security handed out an addendum that they voted on, which I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that that addendum then throws all of this back to the EOP, which then avoids the residents again. So I hope we can clarify that. And again, that addendum was not sent out until 1 minute or 2 minutes before the meeting began. I find that to be a little bit offensive because you guys are voting on things that you're not familiar with. So I do request, I do request that you not vote on this today.
Okay.
Thank you. We have 2 more speakers. Next speaker is Richard Hall, and then the final speaker will be Lori Gibson, if they're still here.
Good afternoon, everybody. The Disaster Prep Committee is a vital resource for all of our members and residents. We want to ensure that there's enough people and resources available in the event of emergency. Security will be overwhelmed in any real emergency: earthquake, flood, fire, chemical spill. We live in an area that has a lot of multiple events that I just mentioned. Keep in mind, like the chemical plant, the police were overwhelmed. Palisades fire as well, poor communication in that situation. We're blessed with an active community with people that have training and resources that when an emergency happens can help other departments during the emergency security until state and federal resources can come to bear and support. I'm a member of the Ham Radio Club. I'm joining the RACES team. If everybody doesn't know this, it's a radio amateur civilian emergency group. It's been around for decades. The disaster prep team's been in this village for a long time and is comprised of community members. The goal of our disaster prep team is to get communication, education out to the members to shelter in place. If a medium to large event occurs, the earthquake, fire, chemical, the disaster prep group will help do all the comms and people resources. As we all know, we have many older and medically dependent people. Security alone cannot possibly handle all the things that need to be supported immediately after an event: evacuation, medical issues, traffic, family pickups, communications especially. We want to ensure Laguna Woods Village residents get the immediate support and resources that will be needed to ensure the safety of our community. The disaster prep group is a local group and a critical resource for the first few days until federal or state resources can come to bear and assist, which will be stretched very thin, and important critical short-term needs must be handled internally and individually until those resources can come to bear. Security cannot handle it all.
Richard?
We don't want another Palisades or Garden Grove. There's too many people here. It's a volunteer group that will augment our security team as a vital resource
Richard, you're out of time.
and step up when the event occurs. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. Final speakers, Lori Gibson.
Lori Gibson, 5289. I was the Disaster Task Force Coordinator for Gate 11 for 20 years. In the first 14 years, we had wonderful support from security. And we were able to train our good neighbor captains, and things were moving along beautifully. I was the house supervisor for a major trauma center, and we had to have an internal plan. We couldn't totally rely on fire and sheriff. We had to plan. And I think in a community with 18,000 elderly residents, we need resident involvement, boots on the ground, as our previous speaker just mentioned. A prepared community will survive a disaster.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, John.
I'd like to know what the chief thinks about this.
The emergency operations plan, first of all, was a plan that was developed after the disaster preparedness task force. So when you look at the charter, it's a document that's used to help structure how your paid staff is going to respond in order to respond to a disaster. We know that disasters, and I just sat through 2 tabletop exercises in 2 weeks in a row with Orange County Fire Authority, Orange County Operations Area, and Orange County Sheriff's Department. First, the tabletop exercise that we sat through, we actually were part of a player in that, was at Clubhouse 7, which talked about evacuations, right? And evacuations of Laguna Woods specifically because of a wildland fire. So one of the things that we talked about is, like transportation, communication, and all of this other stuff, and who would be doing what. And having been an emergency services coordinator for 2 cities, okay, and had that direct responsibility where I worked with volunteers all the time, I had volunteer groups. You have to have volunteer groups. But volunteer groups don't self-deploy. The people that are in charge to manage that are the ones that direct them when and where to show up. Just like the Garden Grove one was talked about. You couldn't have volunteers just show up on scene over there. In fact, they had a red zone that you had to stay out of. So there was nobody, even professionals, that were told that this was a certain area that you couldn't go into. You can't have people self-deploying to an area, think they're going to help, and then endanger themselves and be part of the problem, right? I understand what the concern is, and it was already worked out with Director Parsons and his steering committee that they would be the ones that are actually actively involved with our volunteer group to making sure that they had the kind of what we call the care and feeding of volunteers. The education, the meetings, and all of that. this charter and this committee that you have is made up of committee members who do represent, just like you do, represent the community, right? And because of that, it has to be in an organized fashion, and somebody has to be the person that oversees this committee, right, which is the chair and the committee members. I am merely the support staff that gives them the professional opinion about how things can be done or should be done. And then they vote on it. Now the vote, you're right. We got the charter that they had presented, the week before it was due, or the meeting. So it was given to us, so I had the weekend, a holiday weekend to review it. After reviewing it, there was some issues that came up that put us in situations that didn't really address, leaving us in a risk management issue in terms of how we run, all of your committees, right? And specifically this one. So in order to address that, I had to meet with the compliance manager, Francis Gomez, and we met over the weekend. We had several discussions about how do we get this charter in line with our governing docs, because it is absolutely does not. And we do not want, in my job, part of my job is to protect you guys, right, and this organization from any kind of liability. So we looked at the old charter, said this was good. In the old charter, we're going to go ahead and transfer some of this language over. We know that it's a GRF committee, and so we're going to run it just like we run every other GRF committee, with the representation, making sure it's fair and adequate. And then all of the details of this, this is an addendum that I brought to that meeting. I had to give it to everybody in the audience and then give it to the board. They called for it, they reviewed it. They not only reviewed it, but they actually had discussion on it. And a number of them discussed it, and a number of them opined that they felt that the one that was presented before, that the steering committee, and this was somebody that was on the steering committee, she said, it was Director Cassell, said that this is more of a to-do list, a task list, and it's still good as that, but it should not be part of our charter. And so after that discussion, they took the vote. Now, there wasn't any lit vote, but after they took the vote, he announced, and it's on video, that at that time Director Parsons was chairing that meeting, and he said it's an 8-0 unanimous vote. So I'm not making that up, unless somehow he didn't mean to vote, and he meant to vote against it, But I'm just telling you, I'm responding to what was set up here before.
So I'm listening to both sides. That's the most important thing. But the point is, there are people who are, the correct word would be in favor and not in favor. And I like everybody to be happy. So I want you and your team to be happy. I want the residents to be happy. Is it okay? Would you be upset if I sent this back to the committee to work it out to the point that both sides are happy and they can work it out?
Yeah, for me, I don't want to upset my committee because of the members that are happy with it, right, like you.
So I don't know who is happy and who is not happy. I don't want to know the details. I just want you guys to work together and make yourselves happy and work together. I would like to, do I need a motion for this? Yes. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we send this charter back to committee for further review.
Just work it out, please.
Does anybody second it?
Second over there. So, if all in favor? Okay? Good. Sorry, but we'll make you work a little harder.
No, it's no problem.
Yeah, it's good to know everything. I understand that there were people for it and against it. My view of this is that it's the most important committee, disaster preparedness, because disaster doesn't happen every day. It happens maybe once in our lifetime, but we need to do it right. That's it. We don't have a halfway in between type of thing. So please, we would like to request staff to send this back to the committee, and we are at this half point that we can take a 5-minute break, and it is...
No breaks.
I need a break. It's 12:01. Huh?
Mr. Chair, before I leave, I just want to know, is there anything based on this that you would like us to bring back to staff? That I already heard the word experience may not be removed from that.
Yeah,
but is there anything else?
Well, and advisor, are the residents advisors, or are they non-voting members?
They are.
What is their actual role?
They're like every advisor on any committee. They're non-voting members.
Okay, then that needs to be defined.
Okay. So I'm going to take a 5-minute break.
All right, we'll continue.
If you want to.
Yes.
Can we recommend that the lady that came and spoke, who had experience, you ma'am, would you come to the disaster preparedness meetings and help us?
Yes.
Thank you.
We are there at the meetings all the time.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to continue on with the open meeting and get into the committee reports.
And may I also
Yes.
suggest after, if the board agrees with this, after the Finance Committee or Treasurer's report, if we skip the remainder of the committee reports due to the fact that there's a system update at 12:30
Yes,
scheduled. down here.
we're going to present the finance or the treasurer's report, and that is the only the report of the finance committee. The other committee reports will be part of the open agenda minutes.
All right, let me move on very quickly. As you know, all the report has been...
Yvonne, point of
Yeah,
order. Point of
continue.
order. We're not in break.
Yes, we are on session.
Oh, he said,
No,
I apologize.
Okay.
no break.
Okay, because of time, I'll just make it very simple. The financial report as of April 30, 2026 was already presented on your docket. And slide 1 displays operating fund activities, right? So you can see that it's unfavorable $133,000 total, right? Okay, let's move on to slide 2. It shows our most significant operating fund balance by category, with the green bars are representing favorable and orange bars representing unfavorable items. Well, you can just self-explanatory. However, unfavorable ones include insurance, as you know, and other operating expenses were about $170,000, primarily due to higher than anticipated employee benefit related fees and timing of a salary training expense compared to the annual budget spread. And repairs and maintenance by $298,000, unfavorable due to timing of various IT-related annual software subscriptions compared to the annual budget spread. This budget was spread across 12 months, and the subscription were paid at the beginning of the year. That is the reason why time, right? Let's move on to slide 3. It shows source of revenue other than the assessment. It's pretty, clear. And the major one is broadband services, the most costly ones, and then golf, etc. And then let's move on to next slide. It shows our largest operating fund expense was employee,
compensation, followed by insurance, professional, and the legal fees. Of the $16.1 million, excluding depreciation, these categories account for 67% of total expense. Programming and French fries fees, outside services, utility, fuel, and oil, etc., make up the remaining 33%. Next slide. This table displays a reserve fund activities, which excludes operating revenues and expenses. And this report shows an unfavorable variance of $543,000. It's because, we have low sailing, right? Manor selling number was very, very lower than we expected. I hope we can catch up pretty soon. Slide 6 shows resale history from 2024, 2026. So again, the bar shows a lower side of it compared to other years. Most of these transactions generate the trust facility fees, transfer fee, used as source of revenue for our reserves. That is our problem here. And next slide, the reserve and restricted funds adjusted balance are shown here. We started with the combined ending balance of $41.7 million, reserve fund and restrict fund balance of $2.9 million. Included in these totals are contributions received in 2026 through assessments and trust facility fees and investment earnings. And the second column shows a work in progress of $12.8 million. We still need to spend this much. It is already planned from reserve fund, but $0 from restricted fund. So the third column represents a resulting adjusted fund balance of $28.8 million for reserves and $2.9 from the restricted fund. Slide 8, next one, shows the reserve monies, how the reserve money is committed, right? So of the $32.7 million appropriated by the board for various projects and equipment purchases, the remaining encumbrance against our reserve fund is still $14.5 million, primarily for fiber improvements, right? Okay, next slide. We compare our adjusted fund balance to historical balances for the past 5 years on this next chart, which shows that GRF have average of $35.7 million in reserve funds and $3.3 million contingency fund. But because of this huge fiber project, it must go down. We have no control over it. So when the resident is just insisting that we have to have a $40 million balance on our record, it is not possible until this fiber project is being done. So that is a reality, and it's been planned some time ago. Okay, I think that's our slide, and our Finance Committee is meeting Thursday of next month. I mean this month, June, in the afternoon. That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
This will conclude my report.
Okay, then go. Cool. See it.
That concludes the Treasury report. The meeting now is going to go into recess to the closed meeting, and we will reconvene that at 12:45. This meeting is in recess.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. See you upstairs.
Thank you.